friend over here, and I want to get to him right now because he's got information about this constitutional Holocaust. Well, there's really no Constitution treaty, and this treaty bothers me. I'm thinking, well, Adolf Hitler created it, and he fought the war, we fought against them, he fought against us, and this gentleman has got some of this information as to how this thing came about. He's from Ghana. And you say, well, he's not going to speak Queen's English in the way that you can particularly understand. So he's done something to make it real clear. He's going to show you, and if you'll come up here, Francis, introduce. 9 years putting together information about how this information, how this plan came about. Can you all those books telling me about some German chancellor and some wild story that this guy had talked about a world plan, some sort of schematic for this European Union. And as you know, the European Union is just swallowed up Great Britain. When I went to school, the sun never set in the British Empire. Now, it never rises. What happened to the British Empire? Can we knock out some lights over there? I hope that we can knock out some lights because I want you to see. He started to put this European project, Francis CODJOE, overview of the European project. We're working on this so that we can get this information out to you. We're going to put some of this into a film, which we're putting together now. It's called EU, Hitler's Dream Come True. And if you've got some sort of statement, or you say, hey, this is a great thing, Hilder. This Hitler guy was okay. He just, you tried to do a war, and Brown and Blair and Bush and Obama, these are okay guys, and this is a great program. You want to sort of scan through this thing, and let's go to a couple of important points. You want to bring it down the line here.
This is the cover of the book.
Yes, speak loud.
Okay, this is the cover of the book, and as Anthony has already said, it took me 9 years, to work on this project. And
sorry, can we just see past it?
Oh no, we're going to go through just real quick clips. The EU spends billions of euros a year promoting itself. And oh, by the way, when you get the traffic ticket over here, guess where the money goes? Huh? To the European Union, and I know you all love that. So continue.
The European Union has been in existence since 1950. And I've taken 9 years to investigate. So it's going to take me more than even 2 days for me to go through all my project, because it's a 9 years project. So what I've done is that in the course of the project, I discovered 3 main truths: the unknown truth, the distorted truth, and the forgotten truth about the European Union. And my burden, I was born in Ghana, but I'm now a British citizen. And my burden is to share with you the unknown truth about this project. And I'm so much passionate about what has happened to this great nation.
Francis, you should bring it back for just 1 second. Who are these guys you have over here on the side of the screen?
I'll talk about it.
What?
I'll talk about it.
Are you going to talk about it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering who they
So
are.
what I've done is I've summarized the whole 9-year project on this one frame. This is what I've done. So because of time, I want to rush through because I have to go and catch my train. So my 9-year project, I've summarized all of them on this one frame. You can see the one gentleman over there, that is John Monet. And this one was born in Ireland, and he became the most prominent eminent Victorians that have ever lived in the United Kingdom. And you go through it, there are so many personnel, but because of time, I will slip and then come back. Maybe you won't have time, you can invite me, and then I can spend one full day at least to give you only the overview of this project. Now this is the book, and I'm very grateful to Marilyn, who through her I was able to see Thane and Margaret, and they have been very, very wonderful to me. And please give them a good thanks for me, because without Marilyn, Thane and Margaret, I wouldn't have been here. Yeah. Now this gentleman is, I think some of you know him. He's a columnist, Christopher Booker. So Marilyn took a copy of my book, to Christopher Booker. Now, so the book is dedicated to this gentleman. And as I've already said, he is the most intelligent human being to me that has ever lived. As a matter of fact, I've named my son after him. And I've dedicated this book to this gentleman. I love him. I love him. Because, to cut long story short, he investigated the Jack the Ripper case. And he found the Jack the Ripper. This gentleman.
This going now you say Britain, the end, the Lisbon Treaty, we just saw that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So what happened is that this gentleman wrote about the European Union, how it will develop, its character, and how it's going to end. And whatever he wrote has come to pass. Now we know this gentleman on the left side, Jean Monnet. He is the father of Europe. He brought the European Union into existence, the plan. Okay. Jean Monnet, the first statesman of independence. So the whole world adored this Jean Monnet. He's a Frenchman. And in 1950, he gave the plan to Robert Schuman to sow the seed of European Federation.
What year was this?
1950. When the European Union was born with the Schuman plan. It was Jean Monnet who gave the idea to Robert Schuman. Robert Schuman was then the French Foreign Secretary. And it was Schuman who launched the plan for the European Federation. So as I've already said, this gentleman, he's called Sir Robert Anderson. He became the head of Scotland Yard. And in 1881, he wrote about the European Union. And he made a specific prediction that the Jews would go back to Palestine. And after the Jews had gone back to Palestine, the next major political feature in history would be the European Union. As a matter of fact, he made this prediction before the founding father of Zionism launched the political Zionism in 1896. Political Zionism was launched in 1896 to bring the Jews back to Palestine. But before this movement was formed, Sir Robert Anderson had already written that the Jews would go back to Palestine. And after the Jews had gone back to Palestine, the next major political feature in history would be the European Union.
But how about this German chancellor? What was his name?
German chancellor, Konrad Adenauer.
Konrad Adenauer.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was before Hitler, and he was like...
Yeah, that's right. Konrad Adenauer came with the idea of European integration. That was even before, after the First World War. But then it was Jean Monnet who came with a plan to get this thing moving. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? It was Jean Monnet who came with a plan to get the whole European project moving. And Jean Monnet sold the plan to the German chancellor. Okay, but as I said, this is just an overview, so I just want to make it quick. So, Sir Robert Anderson wrote about the restoration of the Jews to Palestine. And then he went on to say that after the Jews had gone back, the European Union would be established. Now, the Jews went back to Palestine in May 1948. And in May 1950, the European Union was born, exactly as he had predicted that it would happen. All right. Now, he went on to say that if Britain joins the European Union, Britain will become a province. This is what he said. If you look at this, I just want you to read that this nation was sent to become a province. In fact, he was born in Ireland, and I went to Ireland to launch this project there. And then he became, the British public servant about that. Now, so what he said, the word that he used to describe Britain political commentators have used it in the 21st century. He wrote about this in the 19th century. Now, if I have to go through the whole program, you will notice that about 30 single phrases and words he used to describe the European Union in the 19th century has been used today. He's a wonderful man. But I'm so sad that the British people don't know him. Now, let's look at what he wrote. What is Europe looking for? It is the king of men, blah, blah, blah. And then he went on that the coming prince will be the head of the revived Roman Empire. Now, the Lisbon Treaty has paved the way for the king of men to come exactly as we have predicted.
Francis, let me sort of give you one little overview. This has all been meticulously planned for your destruction, each and every step of the way. I would like to have Francis come back here because this requires an entire presentation which we cannot give. But I wanted you to see him, and I wanted you to know that this man has dedicated 9 years of his life to investigating this Holocaust, how it happened, and how it went from the initial individuals who were planning global government before World War I, after, into Hitler. He tried to do it with bullets and bombs. And then came the United Nations to destroy this nation. And we've come up with a thing called the Free World Alliance, where we will recognize the tribal, linguistic, racial, religious, and political nations. Francis, looks like you got an invitation. Just give us 2 more clips and we'll move on.
Now, we all know that there's a Latin maxim which says, finis opus coronam, the end crowns the work. Okay. So at the end of the day, we know that it is not how well you start a journey that matters, but how well you end it. And a typical example is the Titanic. The Titanic started very well in 1912, sailing from Southampton to New York. But what happened? There were luxurious items on board. But at the end of the day, the Titanic sank. Now, if the passengers had known that that unsinkable ship will sink, would they have joined it? No. So these people should be on it and should be excited that your father wrote about the destiny of the European Union. And he warned you that Britain will not be saved if Britain and Ireland join the European Union. I've got his specific words, which, if I come here, I'll go through it and show it to you. So just how the Titanic started very well and ended in a disaster, the same it is with the European Union. It will end in a disaster, and your father had already written about it. So it's time to take Sir Robert Anderson very, very seriously. I'm sure you don't know him, but the next time when I come, I will go through all the materials with you. In fact, it can take me the whole day or 2 days, because this is more important than anything in this universe. As a matter of fact, I wrote to Boris Johnson, and the response was that Boris Johnson has got a lot of commitment. And I responded that, listen, whatever commitment you have, forget about it, because the relationship of Britain and the European Union is far more serious than anything. So I would like to add my presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay.